The global entertainment world was once again shaken by a seemingly simple moment that carried an unusually powerful impact. A birthday message, a milestone age, and a mysterious gift instantly ignited worldwide curiosity. Before this story goes any further, one thing is clear: what happened on Timothée Chalamet's 30th birthday was far from ordinary. This was not just a celebration. It was a moment that made the public pause, lean in closer, and ask a question that continues to echo: has a carefully guarded relationship begun to reveal itself? Kylie Jenner's birthday message to Timothée Chalamet quickly became the focal point of international entertainment news. Not only because of who they are, but because of when it appeared, how it was delivered, and what it subtly suggested. In an industry flooded with daily headlines, this moment stood out, hinting at a deeper story beneath the surface. Turning 30 is often described as a defining chapter, and for Timothée Chalamet, the symbolism could not be stronger. Once celebrated as Hollywood's most promising young star, he has now officially entered a new era. His career has been marked by critically acclaimed performances, major award nominations, and a reputation as one of the most respected actors of his generation. Yet despite his professional openness, his private life has remained carefully protected. That is why Kylie Jenner's message carried such weight. Known for controlling her public narrative with precision, Kylie rarely shares personal sentiments without intention. Her birthday greeting was warm, understated, and emotional, neither extravagant nor distant. It was this balance that caught public attention. The tone suggested familiarity, support, and a bond that has quietly grown beyond public speculation. Sources close to the situation describe the message as deeply personal rather than performative. In the celebrity world, where every word is scrutinized, subtle language often speaks louder than dramatic declarations. Fans and media alike began analyzing the message, searching for hidden meaning in its simplicity. The intrigue intensified with reports of a mysterious gift presented to Timothée Chalamet on his birthday. No images surfaced. No official confirmation followed. The absence of detail only fueled the narrative further. In an era where celebrity gifts are often displayed as status symbols, this silence felt intentional. According to multiple entertainment insiders, the gift was not a conventional luxury item. It was not a watch, a car, or a flashy statement piece. Instead, it was described as something intimate and symbolic, carrying emotional significance rather than material value. This single detail shifted the conversation entirely. Speculation spread rapidly across social media and entertainment platforms. Some suggested the gift represented shared memories, others believed it symbolized long-term support during a pivotal phase in Timothy's life. A few went further, interpreting it as a quiet declaration of commitment. With no confirmation, every theory gained momentum. At the center of it all was silence. Neither Kylie Jenner nor Timothée Chalamet addressed the rumors. No interviews. No clarifications. In celebrity culture, silence often becomes the loudest response. It allows imagination to take over and tension to build naturally. Industry observers began to view the 30th birthday as a turning point. For Timothée, it marked a transition into maturity, not just as an actor, but as an individual navigating fame, expectation, and personal growth. For Kylie, every public move is known to be deliberate. If this message was shared publicly, many believe it was done with full awareness of its impact. Reports later emerged suggesting the birthday celebration itself was intimate and private. There was no extravagant party, no long guest list, no viral footage. Instead, it was described as a quiet gathering with only a few close figures present. It was within this calm, controlled environment that the mysterious gift was reportedly given. This is where the story reached its emotional peak. The focus shifted away from what the gift actually was and toward what it represented. A quiet celebration. A meaningful gesture. A moment grounded in sincerity rather than spectacle. For two figures constantly surrounded by cameras, this restraint felt powerful. Cultural analysts noted a noticeable shift in narrative. What once revolved around rumors and fleeting sightings began to resemble a story of stability and intention. Kylie Jenner's birthday message was no longer viewed as mere celebrity news, but as a subtle glimpse into a relationship shaped by discretion and maturity. As Timothée Chalamet's birthday came to an end, one reality became impossible to ignore. The world was no longer just watching his career, it was paying close attention to the life he chooses to protect. The message and the mysterious gift succeeded in creating a story far more compelling than any extravagant celebration could have. To this day, the true nature of the gift remains unknown. And perhaps that is the point. Not every detail needs to be revealed to leave an impact. Some moments are meant to be felt, discussed, and remembered without full explanation. Whatever the real meaning behind Kylie Jenner's birthday message and the mysterious gift given to Timothée Chalamet on his 30th birthday, one fact is undeniable. The moment sparked global conversation, intensified public curiosity, and reaffirmed their ability to control a narrative with remarkable subtlety. And as the public continues to speculate, this story remains unfinished. That is its greatest strength. A birthday message, a mysterious gift, and two global icons reminding the world that the most powerful stories are often built not on what is said, but on what is quietly left unsaid. What followed after that birthday moment only deepened the intrigue. In the days after Timothée Chalamet turned 30, online engagement surrounding his name surged dramatically. Search trends spiked, fan forums reignited, and entertainment outlets continued to revisit the same question from different angles. Why did this particular birthday feel different from all the others before it? Observers noted that Timothee himself appeared noticeably calm and reflective in the days that followed. Those who encountered him professionally described a quieter confidence, a grounded presence that stood in contrast to the usual whirlwind surrounding celebrity milestones. For an actor who has grown up under relentless scrutiny, reaching 30 seemed less about celebration and more about intention. Kylie Jenner, meanwhile, remained characteristically reserved. No follow-up posts. No clarifications. No amplified messaging. This restraint only added weight to her initial birthday greeting. In an era dominated by oversharing, choosing not to elaborate became a statement in itself. Fans interpreted this silence as respect, for the moment, for the milestone, and for the person it was meant to honor. Entertainment analysts began framing the story differently. Rather than treating it as gossip, many outlets shifted toward a narrative of evolution. Timothée Chalamet at 30 was no longer the industry's next big thing. He was firmly established. The birthday message, paired with the mysterious gift, appeared to acknowledge that transition, away from youthful uncertainty and toward a more defined sense of self. Insiders suggested that the gift itself may have been tied to this personal evolution. While no details were confirmed, repeated descriptions emphasized meaning over extravagance. Words like symbolic, intentional, and deeply personal surfaced again and again. The lack of visual proof made the story feel almost old-fashioned, driven by imagination rather than imagery. As speculation continued, fans revisited past interviews, searching for clues. Timothee had previously spoken about valuing privacy, authenticity, and emotional grounding as his career expanded. Kylie, too, had openly discussed how fame reshaped her priorities over time. In hindsight, the birthday moment felt like a convergence of those values. Midway through the ongoing media cycle, a subtle shift occurred. Conversations moved away from confirming a relationship and toward understanding its tone. The focus was no longer on labels, but on energy. Quiet. Stable. Intentional. The birthday message was increasingly interpreted as a reflection of mutual respect rather than a publicity-driven gesture. This shift acted as a turning point in the narrative. Instead of escalating into sensational headlines, the story slowed down. That slowdown became its own kind of pattern interrupt, holding attention precisely because it refused to explode. Viewers and readers stayed engaged, waiting for something dramatic that never came, yet remained invested all the same. Behind the scenes, industry insiders noted how rare this kind of controlled storytelling had become. In a media landscape addicted to instant payoff, this moment offered delayed gratification. The mystery of the gift. The restraint of the message. The absence of follow-up. All of it worked together to sustain interest far longer than a single viral post ever could. As the conversation matured, some cultural commentators framed the event as a reflection of a broader trend among high-profile figures. More celebrities are choosing privacy over spectacle, intimacy over exposure. Timothée Chalamet's 30th birthday became an example of this shift, where meaning outweighed performance, yet tension never fully disappeared. The unanswered questions lingered. Was the gift a reminder of the past or a signal toward the future? Was the message meant only for Timothee, or was it also a quiet acknowledgement to the world? Each interpretation kept audiences emotionally invested, replaying the moment from new angles. As weeks passed, the birthday itself faded from headlines, but its resonance remained. It continued to be referenced in broader discussions about celebrity relationships, personal branding, and the changing definition of public intimacy. Few moments managed to extend their lifespan this way without new information being added toward the emotional payoff of the story. One realization became clear. The power of this moment did not come from revelation, but from restraint. The birthday message from Kylie Jenner did not demand attention, it invited it. The mysterious gift did not seek validation, it created curiosity. Together, they formed a narrative that felt authentic precisely because it resisted explanation. For Timothée Chalamet, turning 30 was framed not as a peak, but as a foundation. A grounding point from which the next phase of his life and career could unfold. The quiet support implied by the birthday moment suggested stability behind the scenes, something rarely visible at this level of fame. As the story settled into cultural memory, it left behind a lingering sense of completeness without closure. No confirmation was needed. No reveal was required. The audience had already received the payoff, a deeper understanding of how powerful subtlety can be, and now, as the public looks ahead, the final takeaway remains simple yet compelling. In a world driven by noise, the most unforgettable moments are often the quiet ones. Kylie Jenner's birthday message and the mysterious gift given to Timothée Chalamet at 30 did not shout for attention. They earned it. If this moment proved anything, it is that some stories are designed to unfold slowly, living in speculation, interpretation, and emotional resonance rather than facts alone. And as long as questions remain unanswered, the conversation continues, strong, steady, and impossible to ignore. As the discussion continued to ripple outward, the birthday moment began to take on a broader cultural significance. What initially appeared as a single headline evolved into a case study of how modern celebrity narratives are shaped, not by constant visibility, but by selective exposure. Media analysts pointed out that the sustained interest surrounding Timothée Chalamet's 30th birthday was driven less by confirmed facts and more by emotional interpretation. This interpretation was fueled by timing. Turning 30 in Hollywood carries symbolic weight, especially for an actor whose entire adult life has unfolded under public scrutiny. For Timothée Chalamet, the milestone represented both reflection and recalibration. Industry insiders noted that many performers reassess their priorities at this age, shifting focus from rapid momentum to long-term purpose. The birthday message from Kylie Jenner appeared to align seamlessly with that moment of transition. Entertainment reporters revisiting the story highlighted how carefully the narrative unfolded. There was no rush to dominate headlines. Instead, the story breathed. Each mention reignited curiosity without exhausting it. This pacing created an unusual level of retention among audiences, who remained engaged not because of shock value, but because of emotional continuity. Observers also noted how the absence of visual proof contributed to the longevity of the story. In an era where images often dictate relevance, the lack of photos surrounding the birthday celebration felt almost radical. Without visuals, audiences were forced to imagine rather than consume. That imagination became the engine driving ongoing discussion. Kylie Jenner's role in this narrative continued to be analyzed from multiple angles. As one of the most media-savvy figures of her generation, her choices are rarely accidental. Analysts emphasized that a birthday message, particularly one delivered with restraint, can function as a public acknowledgement without crossing into exhibition. It signals presence without possession, connection without declaration. Meanwhile, Timothée Chalamet's response, or lack thereof, became equally telling. He did not amplify the moment, nor did he distance himself from it. This neutrality was interpreted by many as confidence. A sign of someone comfortable enough with both attention and privacy to allow a moment to exist without explanation. As weeks turned into months, the story found new life through retrospection. Commentators revisited earlier phases of Timothee's career, noting how his public image has evolved. From outspoken enthusiasm to measured introspection, his trajectory mirrored the tone of his 30th birthday. calm, deliberate, and grounded, the mysterious gift, still unrevealed, continued to function as the narrative's emotional anchor. Rather than fading, it became symbolic of everything the public did not know, and perhaps was never meant to know. In that sense, the gift transcended its physical form. It became a metaphor for private meaning in a public world. Cultural critics pointed out that this dynamic resonated deeply with audiences fatigued by oversharing. The story's success lay in its refusal to over-explain. By withholding details, it respected the intelligence and emotional intuition of its audience. Viewers and readers were invited to feel rather than be told. At the height of its resonance, the birthday moment was cited as an example of how celebrity culture may be shifting. Instead of relentless exposure, there is growing value in boundaries. Instead of spectacle, there is renewed appreciation for sincerity. Kylie Jenner's message and the rumored gift fit squarely within this emerging framework. The payoff of the story arrived not through revelation, but through realization. The audience understood that they were witnessing a carefully balanced moment, one that honored significance without commodifying it. That balance is rare, and it is precisely what made the moment memorable. As the media cycle eventually moved on, the story did not disappear. It lingered. Referenced in think pieces, mentioned in trend analyses, and remembered as a quiet benchmark in both figures' public narratives. Timothée Chalamet's 30th birthday became less about age and more about intention. Looking forward, the unanswered questions remain part of the appeal. The mystery of the gift. The exact sentiment behind the message. The private dynamics that shaped the moment. None of these require resolution to remain powerful. In fact, their unresolved nature ensures the story's endurance. In the end, this was not just a birthday headline. It was a reminder that the most compelling stories often unfold in silence, guided by subtlety rather than spectacle. Kylie Jenner's birthday message to Timothée Chalamet, paired with a gift the world may never fully understand, offered a rare glimpse into a narrative shaped by restraint, and as audiences continue to reflect on that moment, one truth stands firm. In an industry built on visibility, choosing discretion can be the boldest move of all. The story of Timothée Chalamet's 30th birthday remains unfinished by design, and that is exactly why it continues to hold attention, long after the candles were blown out and the day quietly came to an end. As time passed, the birthday moment slowly transformed from trending news into a reference point. It became something journalists, fans, and pop culture commentators would circle back to when discussing the evolving image of both Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet. What once felt like a fleeting update now carried the weight of a defining chapter, precisely because it resisted being fully explained. Media outlets began to contextualize the moment within Timothée Chalamet's broader career arc. At 30, he stood at a rare intersection of credibility and influence. Few actors managed to maintain critical respect while remaining culturally dominant, yet Timothée had achieved both. His birthday was not framed as an ending, but as a threshold, an entry into a phase defined by control rather than momentum. Kylie Jenner's presence in that moment continued to attract quiet analysis. Her journey in the public eye has been marked by constant reinvention, from reality television fame to global business leadership. Observers noted that her public expressions have grown more measured over time, reflecting a shift from constant visibility toward intentional presence. The birthday message fit seamlessly into that evolution. The story gained renewed attention whenever discussions of celebrity privacy surfaced. Commentators repeatedly pointed to this moment as an example of how modern fame can be navigated without total transparency. By sharing just enough to acknowledge significance, yet withholding details that would invite intrusion, both figures demonstrated a form of narrative discipline rarely seen at their level of recognition. As speculation gradually softened, the emotional undertone of the story became clearer. This was not a moment designed to dominate headlines indefinitely. It was designed to exist authentically, even if briefly, and then recede. That choice created a lingering aftereffect, a sense that something meaningful had occurred even if its details remained private. Fans, too, adjusted their perspective over time. Initial curiosity gave way to respect. Online conversations shifted from demanding answers to appreciating the tone of the moment. Many noted how refreshing it felt to witness a celebrity milestone handled with restraint, especially in an environment where personal moments are often monetized or exaggerated. The mysterious gift continued to be mentioned, but less as an object and more as an idea. It became shorthand for emotional intention, for something given not to be displayed, but to be felt. In that way, it reflected a growing cultural desire for depth over display, connection over consumption. Industry voices later reflected on how rare it is for a story to maintain relevance without escalation. There were no follow-up revelations, no dramatic twists, no public confirmations. And yet, the narrative endured. Its longevity was built on tone, timing, and trust in the audience's ability to engage without constant stimulation. As the year progressed, Timothée Chalamet appeared increasingly focused on his work, choosing roles that reinforced his artistic direction. Some observers subtly connected this sense of clarity to the personal stability implied during his birthday milestone. While no direct link was ever made, the contrast between noise and calm became a recurring theme in discussions about his trajectory. Kylie Jenner, meanwhile, continued to operate with the same measured public presence. Her silence on the birthday moment was never broken, reinforcing the idea that not every meaningful gesture requires follow-up. In doing so, she allowed the moment to stand on its own, untouched by explanation or defense. Toward the emotional resolution of the narrative, one understanding quietly emerged. The power of this story lay not in what was revealed, but in what was respected. Privacy was not used as a shield, but as a boundary. That distinction resonated deeply with audiences increasingly aware of the cost of constant exposure. Looking back, the 30th birthday of Timothée Chalamet will likely be remembered not for a party, a speech, or a viral moment, but for a feeling. A sense of transition. A suggestion of grounding. A reminder that even under the brightest spotlight, some moments are meant to remain softly lit. The birthday message from Kylie Jenner and the mysterious gift did not rewrite celebrity culture overnight. But they offered a glimpse of an alternative approach, one rooted in intention rather than excess. That glimpse was enough to spark conversation, reflection, and lasting interest, and so, the story remains open-ended by design. No confirmation has arrived, no explanation has followed, and perhaps none ever will. What endures instead is the impression left behind, a quiet milestone marked by subtlety, maturity, and emotional weight. In the end, this was not just news. It was a narrative shaped by silence, sustained by curiosity, and remembered for its restraint. Timothée Chalamet's 30th birthday, underscored by Kylie Jenner's message and a gift the world may never see, stands as proof that sometimes the most compelling headlines are written not in bold declarations, but in carefully chosen moments of calm. As the narrative continued to mature, the birthday moment slowly embedded itself into the wider timeline of celebrity culture. It was no longer treated as breaking news, yet it never truly disappeared. Instead, it resurfaced organically whenever conversations turned to authenticity, discretion, and the changing expectations placed on public figures. Timothée Chalamet's 30th birthday became a quiet benchmark, referenced not for spectacle, but for tone. Industry insiders later reflected on how rare it is for a story to gain strength over time without new information. Most celebrity news relies on escalation, another post, another photo, another statement. In this case, the opposite happened. The lack of follow-up preserved the integrity of the moment. Each day without clarification reinforced the idea that the birthday message and the mysterious gift were never meant to fuel a cycle, but to mark a personal milestone. As months passed, Timothy's public appearances subtly reinforced this perception. He appeared composed, focused, and deliberate in interviews. When asked about turning 30, his comments centered on growth, balance, and choosing projects with meaning. Though he never referenced the birthday message directly, many listeners felt the influence of a grounding presence behind his words. Kylie Jenner's continued silence only strengthened the narrative's emotional clarity. In the past, moments involving her often unfolded across multiple platforms and extended conversations. This time, there was restraint. Analysts noted that this choice reflected a broader evolution in how she manages personal expression. The birthday message stood alone, unexpanded, suggesting that its purpose had already been fulfilled. Over time, the mysterious gift evolved into a symbol discussed more for its implication than its identity. Commentators described it as a reminder that not every meaningful exchange needs to be validated by public approval. In an economy driven by visibility, the unseen became the most powerful element of the story. Cultural writers later framed the event as a reflection of audience fatigue. Public appetite for constant revelation has begun to wane, replaced by appreciation for boundaries. The enduring interest in this birthday moment suggested that viewers are capable of sustained engagement even when details remain private. Curiosity, when respected, does not fade, it deepens. The story also highlighted a generational shift in celebrity behavior. Younger public figures are increasingly aware of the long-term cost of overexposure. Timothée Chalamet's career has often been cited as an example of intentional growth, and this milestone aligned seamlessly with that image. The birthday moment reinforced the idea that control over narrative can be exercised through silence as effectively as through speech. As the narrative reached its emotional saturation point, one realization settled in. The payoff was not a reveal, but a feeling of resolution. Audiences felt they had witnessed something genuine, even if incomplete. That sense of authenticity became the story's lasting reward. Years from now, the details may blur, but the impression will remain. A 30th birthday marked quietly. A message delivered with care. A gift given without spectacle. Together, they formed a moment that resisted commodification and instead invited reflection. In the end, this story did not demand belief or confirmation. It simply existed, leaving space for interpretation. And in that space, it achieved something rare: endurance without excess. Timothée Chalamet's 30th birthday, underscored by Kylie Jenner's understated message and a gift that remains unseen, stands as a reminder that not all milestones need to be loud to be meaningful. Some are defined by what is shared softly, protected carefully, and remembered long after the moment itself has passed. As the months continued to unfold, the birthday moment began to function almost like a quiet reference hidden in plain sight. It appeared in side notes of entertainment articles, in reflective opinion pieces, and in long-form analyses about how celebrity culture is subtly redefining itself. What made Timothée Chalamet's 30th birthday enduring was not the scale of the moment, but the emotional precision with which it was handled. Entertainment journalists later observed that this story resisted the usual life cycle of celebrity news. There was no spike followed by collapse. Instead, it moved slowly, settling into collective memory. Each time it resurfaced, it did so with a slightly different emphasis, sometimes as a symbol of maturity, sometimes as an example of intentional privacy, sometimes as proof that silence can be a powerful narrative tool. Timothée Chalamet's transition into his 30s was increasingly framed as a moment of recalibration rather than celebration. At an age when many actors struggled to redefine themselves, he appeared comfortable with restraint. His interviews grew more reflective, his public appearances more measured. Industry voices suggested that reaching 30 allowed him to step away from the urgency of proving himself and toward the clarity of choosing his path. The birthday message from Kylie Jenner, viewed through this lens, took on added meaning. Rather than a public declaration, it felt like a quiet acknowledgement of a pivotal moment. Analysts noted how rare it is for such a small gesture to carry lasting weight in an environment driven by excess. The message did not attempt to dominate attention, it simply existed, confident in its relevance. The mysterious gift remained central to the narrative's emotional pull. Over time, it became less about speculation and more about symbolism. Commentators described it as a reminder that the most meaningful exchanges often occur away from cameras. In a culture that rewards visibility, the unseen gesture stood out as an act of intention. What further distinguished this moment was how neither party allowed it to be repurposed for momentum. There were no coordinated appearances, no strategic leaks, no extended engagement. The birthday passed, and life moved forward. That forward motion, uninterrupted by explanation, reinforced the authenticity of the moment. As public conversation evolved, the story began to resonate beyond celebrity news. Cultural commentators used it to explore broader themes: how milestones are marked in the digital age, how privacy functions as a form of agency, and how audiences respond when not everything is explained. The sustained interest suggested a collective readiness for stories that value meaning over immediacy. Fans who initially searched for confirmation gradually shifted toward appreciation. Online discussions reflected a growing respect for boundaries, acknowledging that not every connection needs to be defined publicly to be valid. The birthday moment became a shared reference point for that sentiment. In retrospect, the power of the story lay in its emotional restraint. There was no dramatic reveal, no forced payoff. Instead, the audience experienced something subtler, a sense of witnessing a real moment shaped by choice rather than obligation. That feeling lingered far longer than any viral clip could have. As time continued to pass, Timothée Chalamet's 30th birthday settled into its place as a quiet landmark. Not a headline remembered for shock, but a moment recalled for tone. It marked a transition not just in age, but an approach, a shift toward balance, intention, and emotional grounding. Kylie Jenner's role in that moment remained understated yet significant. Her decision to share only what was necessary, and nothing more, reinforced a narrative of evolution. The message did not seek validation, nor did it invite interpretation. Its simplicity became its strength. Ultimately, the story endured because it trusted its audience. It did not demand attention or insist on meaning. It allowed curiosity to exist without resolution, and in doing so, created a narrative that felt complete without being closed. Timothée Chalamet's 30th birthday, marked by a quiet message and a gift known only to those involved, continued